And we are back. It's time for our second and final series of the evening. This time we've got the Chengdu Hunters going up against the Shanghai Dragons. Chengdu, a must-win series for them if they want to make it into the Midseason Madness. As you said, Avril, any scoreline doesn't matter, just need the W.
They need 2 Ws, actually, because Charge lose to the Fusion. Fusion are already 1 point ahead of Chengdu. Chengdu desperately need 2 wins now to at least tie things up, and even then, if they do win 2 games here, this would include the Shanghai game. If Fusion beats Seoul in any regard, then they just make it through regardless. So, Hunters, first step, beating Shanghai. Scoreline doesn't matter. They just have to win. Starting lineup, as you'd expect, the only substitution they could make is Daisy, who's not going to be coming in for map number 1. Not when Ball is good, not when Gaga's on the ball. But this is going to be an exciting matchup because I think last year, Hunters and Shanghai produced some of the most amazing dive games, especially on the ball. Fate and Gaga, the 2 best ball players, I think, in the world. And Chengdu, while this year has been a bit of a struggle, they've started to really catch up and come into full form in the Midseason Madness. So things are looking on the up and up for the Chengdu Hunters. However, on the other side, though, Ilios, speaking of teams on the up and up, Shanghai looked pretty atrocious in week 1, but since then in week 2, they have been unfairly good, like unreasonably good.
Yeah. I mean, Flutter's back to being the meta. Lip is just utterly dominating. Fate is back in the starting lineup as well, and they've just looked completely impeccable as of late. So the Dragons, this is a very terrifying and scary opponent for the Chengdu Hunters to have to go up against when their tournament lives are on the line. But if they can get this win, that is a massive boon for them moving forward. Granted, of course, it's not fully in their hands. Like you said, if the Fusion can get revenge on the Dynasty, then they should be feeling a little bit better there. But we'll have to just wait and see. For now, they have to get this W.
And looking at the Shanghai side of things to speak to what their capabilities are in the Midseason Madness, they are 6 maps behind the Hangzhou Spark, but they have equal amount of points. So very similar to the Hunters-Philly sort of situation previously in terms of points and maps. Hunters, well rather Shanghai, just need to win their games and make sure that Hangzhou at least lose 1 game somewhere. Now, one thing that's interesting is that Chengdu do actually play Hangzhou this week. So there is a chance where Chengdu just end up helping out Shanghai big time by losing to Shanghai and then beating Hangzhou, and then Shanghai's like, thank you so much for helping us get to 2nd place.
Could be firm handshakes between the 2 teams at the end of that one, with Chengdu probably shedding some tears at the same time, but you never know what can happen. I mean, we've seen some wild things in the past. We've seen it this year. Maybe that same circumstance can occur right here, and they can give Shanghai Dragons that little 1-up to get over top of Hangzhou. We'll have to just wait and see. I mean, I'm thinking back to last season with, Valiant taking that 1 map, and then that denied Fusion access to a tournament, and yada, yada, yada.
That would,
sometimes when you get down to the nitty-gritty, you can get some wild results.
That would be sad Hangzhou noises for sure, if that ends up happening, because you still have Shanghai have got what left? They have this game. Shanghai still then have struggling Guangzhou Charge as well. So look, if they beat them, I'll be honest with you. Unfortunately, Guangzhou Charge, maybe they'll get that 1 map versus Shanghai. They'll get that 1 map. But Shanghai are looking far too good as a team based on what we saw last week. I see no reason that they wouldn't be as good as they were last week. It would be really disappointing for Dragons to not play as well as that, but I think once Dragons find their form, they keep that going forward. And we saw the same thing at the kickoff clash, right? 0-3 start versus Fusion. Took a while for the Dragons to warm up. Lip then gets into God mode on the Soldier. Things start looking great for the Dragons. Now we hit into Midseason Madness. First 2 games, 0-3 results straight away. Lip is now fantastic on that Sojin. The reintroduction of Fate and Lee Jae-gon, I think, has helped this team out immensely as well. We go over to Ilios. Best ball map in the entire pool. Gaga versus Fate on the ball. I really can't wait with me. This was some of the best matchups that we saw last year, and we'll be blessed to see it again.
See, week 4, Shanghai were able to take them down. That was when they were operating not quite at full power. A lot of people, I've been seeing, people discussing this a bit and asking the question, what happened? How did Shanghai Dragons get so good again? And, just kind of have to remind everybody the circumstances that they were playing under, circumstances that we don't even know the full extent of during the first part of the tournament. And now that we have them back on camera, they're in a much more comfortable location. They have stable internet. You can see that those things widely helping contribute to the overall success of the team, as well as the changes that we've been seeing to the meta and the roster.
So I'll say one other thing that's contributing right now in this particular skirmish is that because Chengdu, despite dying, is playing Sombra and Shanghai not playing the Sombra, first of all, they have a hack against the ball, but they can also hack the Mega on the coast side, which they did do. So that should give Gaga a little bit of advantage in this ball matchup. Now that he has a Mega to play with him, that Fate does not.
Let's see if it's going to be good enough for them here. Split up. Jumping up over the top here. Looking around the back lines. Monk, however, great opening kill. Does find Lip, taking him down. The start of the fight, they take on as well. Chipped away at.
Leaves on 72.
Onto the top. Hack comes through. That's going to interrupt him as he tries to go for the pile driver. Get the finish here on a Monk. Cannot make it happen. More orbs flying through. Fleta will get on top of Leave. Finds that kill. Now he's going to have to try to catch up as far as ult charge is concerned because the pulse bomb is nearly there for Leave, and he's going to be rejoining here rather quickly. But Shanghai Dragons looking like they're going to be able to hold on to this point.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Leave's damage in that opening fight was unreal. He nearly has the pulse bomb. He was almost 50% ahead of Fleta. Shanghai Dragons, the team though, far cleaner in that fight. You can see Jimmy being very active. The unfortunate thing about playing Sombra, and I've talked about Sombra enough this year that I won't have to say too much here, but to get value out of Sombra here, you'd need Jimmu to be on Fate 24/7, bully the hell out of that ball, give Gaga an even more superior matchup, and then Chengdu can
look at this. This is disgusting. A dive just right in front of the dropship. Monk
spawn camping
will get topped up, so yeah, they're not going to be able to get any eliminations off that. That being said, Lee Jae-gun will find Leave, just hounding him down as he tries to harass and contest around the back lines. Jinmu going to be drawn out of stealth. Good spy checking here. Fleta.
And that's a big kill, by the way.
Continues to apply pressure here from the flank. He's dashing forward. He's got a pulse bomb in his pocket. He's ready to use it.
And Monk's already pulled the trigger on the Transcendence before anything happens, so they're forcing ultimates.
Stick.
And the stick doesn't even care about the Trans.
Stick. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful there from the side of the Shanghai Dragons. A wonderful set play. Fleta going to be tagged low, rotates over, grabs that health pack, Leave trying to pursue. Continues to take Fleta a little bit lower and lower, but he will manage to make it out with his life intact. But now Bob online, 95% final fight here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. The minefield going to be opened up from Gaga. The Bob goes forward first and foremost from Lip. OT starting to bleed away. Gaga crashes back in onto the point once more, but he is low on HP. Grabs that mini. The rest of the team now have to be the ones to try to contest. Nisha, he gets pushed right into the crosshair of Lip. Strikes him down. The support's now gone. Lee Jae-gun with a whip shot finishes off Jinmu. There's the cleanup. Leave will be the last one to fall as it bleeds away. It's 100-0. Shanghai Dragons kicking off Ilios on Ruins with a win.
Absolutely. It's Monumentous team diff coming on through. And looking on the Hunter side of things, as much as I would love to scapegoat the Sombra, I don't even know if that's the primary issue here, because you have a number of cases where outside the open neutral, which goes reasonably well for the Hunters, Monk gets a frag as well despite losing Jinmu, so it's pretty evenly traded. Gaga has the extra Mega to play through. Dragons, once they got tempo and forced the first reset from Hunters, push all the way to spawn, and you actually saw from the Dragons' health bars, they got low. It's not like they didn't take damage, but they could not have those kills secured. Chengdu couldn't find those frags, and that's exemplified by the fact that Leave had nearly 600 more damage than Fleta, but he's got 0 final blows and Fleta has 6. Leave was doing the damage, but they couldn't finish off the kills.
Well, Jinmu going to be thinking the skies to match the Echo of Fleta. Let's see who can find more value there. Of course, Nisha does shift to the Mercy, that pocket healing, so a bit more sustainability for him as Fate's just going to be chased down. Cannot escape, cannot clear line of sight fast enough. Jinmu gets him with a beam.
So, if you're going to be pocketing an Echo here, putting Nisha onto a Mercy, which by the way I think is one of his best heroes, if not his best, you are losing a lot of extra value you would otherwise be getting from a Lucio or a Brig or a Bap or anything else. It means Jinmu needs to pop the hell off on this Echo to justify the fact that you have one player basically permanently pocketing one of your other players, so you're kind of playing 4v5 in a way.
Yep, Fleta gone, so quite literally playing 4v5. Another good pick-off here. Jinmu takes the lead towards that duplicate. Leave just getting right back onto the high ground. And I mean, Nisha, yeah, 2 prime targets. Which one do you want to go for? Damage boost on the Leave, the pocket there for Jinmu. Either one is going to be a solid choice. And yeah, Lip taken down to the back lines.
And Gaga, by the way, has about doubled Fate's damage here. And ult charge, so the mine's been coming up pretty early. Lip's already given up on that Tracer. I think in some ways that's a good thing because now he can sort of affect the aerial battle a little bit more, put a bit more pressure on the Jinmu via his Ashe. Leaves playing with the Ashe on the other side, so you want something contesting that. So a good move by
You're not going to be able to out-pressure
over
the healing from Nisha. I like it. Good dink. Forces Jinmu back, hits the floor. Well, shots flying out. Dynamite looking to try to land that over into the spa room. Cannot make it happen, though. Shanghai Dragons really struggling to work their way over to the point. Even when they do that, Minefield is going to be waiting for them. Fleta, however, opens things, finds Nisha. That's going to be the healing. The damage boosts the res out of the fight. Dynamite over the top. Lee Jae-gon going to get chipped away at as Fleta melted. Jinmu wins the 1v1. No pocket, no problem. Finds the kill. Leave, however, now falling. Jinmu dead. Moves right up into line of sight of Lip. Takes his head clean off. The flip now starting to come through. Gaga turns, tries to recontest. Does discord it up. Doesn't have any healing. Will end up falling. So they managed to extend it up to 88%. The flip is there. Shanghai Dragons now on the board.
And that's what you want to see out of Dragons, right? I mean, the pressure coming through from Lip and Fled doesn't necessarily have to be onto Jinmu. Nisha has to be a prime target as well. And Lip can definitely target Nisha. If Nisha comes up anywhere out of position, sometimes as a mercy, that does happen. So Shanghai Dragons, they take down Nisha. Jinmu does trade, but he'll go down as well. And Chengdu will win the fight. So Jinmu forced a copy here. He was on 1 HP.
Yeah, Bob out first there from Leave. Lip now having his own a lot ready to go. Has used it. Rotate over to the Mega Pack. Fate trying to stay alive. Just get chipped away at, but Lip will manage to find Gaga. That looks for a little bit more. And Jinmu broken out. He's got nowhere to go. The whip shot will finish him. The res is there to put the Wrecking Ball back into the fray from the side of the Chengdu Hunters, but the damage continues to be roughly insurmountable for them. Push around the corner, Lip again, finding another tap. Looking for Leave's head. Can't quite get that connection. Would have been a nice pickup, a good stagger on the back end, but Gaga is dead once more, and Chengdu Hunters are going to have to recollect and regroup. But look at this push coming through from Lee Jae-gon. He's just going balls to the wall, deep into the back line, all on his lonesome right now. He needs to get a bailout, but he's just chipping away at Leave. Barrier comes in, and yeah, okay, he does finally fall, but look, Jinmu and Nisha are now dead.
It just shows the confidence from Dragons, right? That Lee Jae-gon would even go for that play.
From Lee Jae-gon.
That's one of those funny moments. That's probably not a good idea for Lee Jae-gon to do that. They're down in support now. They're down further members. Leave's got the kill onto Lip. What it does mean that Dragons will absolutely catch up to 80% at least, and even then, more kills are coming on through. Easy out, spot trans. Dragons can win this.
Chipped away at, pocket healing once more coming back through. Nisha going to be at the ready with the res, should he go down as well.
Who touches Gaga?
It's going to have to be the one. Got the minefield available as well to try to buy some space. Pile drift paint, not going to find too much. Rotates around the back. Jinmu taken down, but beyond the grave, the sticky bombs will manage to take down Izayaki. Lee Jae-gon, Dynamite finally gets to him. And that's the supports out of the fight here for the side of the Shanghai Dragons. The flip coming through. Fate doesn't want to play the point, knows that they have 10% to play around with.
2 bombs.
Waits it out, but he cannot die here, and he does. Monk finds an elimination, and that is catastrophic here for the side of the Shanghai Dragons.
So Bob has a touchdown. Here we go. Lip managed to throw that one in. Somebody actually touched before that. Bob on Bob action on the point. One of them is discorded, so Leaves Bob will come out on top, and a lot of frags for the Hunters.
Lee Jae-gon just managed to find him. The projectile's flying, but Fate just a second too late. Cannot get that last contest to try to extend the fight, and even if he had, everybody else was dead. 199% into response of getting swept on Ruins. That's going to extend us to well to settle the map.
And I think this is Dragons, where you look at Ruins, they start spawn camping, they 100-0, super one-sided, but you get to the second round of Lighthouse. Dragons, they turn around a fight, they have to catch up to 88%. They get very confident. They start thinking about spawn camping on Lighthouse, which is not a very common map to see spawn camping on. Ruins, we see it a few times. Lighthouse, almost non-existent. Lee Jae-gon goes especially deep. Shanghai gets punished. Not just Lee Jae-gon that dies. A bunch of other members die as well, giving Chengdu Hunters the ability to reset, get back to the point where we fight in mostly neutral territory, but it ends up being the fact that Gaga touches, has mines, is able to contest. Fate dies at the critical moment, and Chengdu win. So, Shanghai Dragons, I think, lack the respect there.
Thank you for the assistance.
Gaga dead off the rip. Record time there as Lee Jae-gon finds the finisher. Not sure if he sent him off the side of the map or if it was just a straight up kill, draining the HP bar. Either way, a good one there for the side of the Shanghai Dragons to find as the point unlocks and they look to get the initial cap coming through. Leaf contesting it for the moment, does dash away, grabs some HP, now goes into the back line of Shanghai Dragons, trying to apply some pressure where possible. Gaga straight up here in front of Fleta, but sticky bombs come through. Beam not even necessary. They find the elimination. First cap, locked in for the side of the Dragons once more.
Well, can they do something with the Legion on death, though? Probably not at this point. They need Gaga to get back into action. There's a brief window where Gaga should be here and Legion isn't. Great job by Leave on the Hunters to keep the point controlled and contested for as long as he did. Now the real fight starts.
Gone, the beam comes through, Leave is also there. They managed to work down the front line a bit. The support's that much more exposed, but speaking of supports, Lip finds Nisha. Pulse pump stick, quick and easy, Jinmu dead. Lip comes up with 2, and that's going to be Shanghai Dragons retaining control, or maintaining it rather.
Yeah, good play from Lip there, who didn't get to play that much Tracer last year. I remember he had some great stats on the Tracer, but the play time was relatively low. Now when we look at this particular composition, you know, Fleta's obviously going to be your echo play, so Lip has to pick up on that Tracer, and so far that double kill will certainly show his hidden prowess on this hero that he doesn't display very much.
Recall used. Trying to stay elusive here. Jinmu tagged low, Discord Orb out onto him, retreats. He joins in with the supports, will stay alive, stay safe for the time being in the minefield. Dropped in from Fate, but it's going to be Leave who finds an opening kill. Pulse bomb out, Lee Jae-gon dead. Rally not used, however, so still does have that as they come back in potentially for the recontest. If the Chengdu Hunters can get the flip right here. They are looking for it, and as you say, the rally is there from Nisha. A lot of green HP being offered up. Izayaki dove on. Almost actually gets the pick off there on the Leaf despite the pressure he was put under, but does end up falling all the same. Duke now going to be used, however.
Double Tracer.
Copy on a Leaf, puts another Tracer, into the fight, and they're both going to have pulse bombs pretty damn soon. Lip falling low, pulse bomb goes out from Fleta, unable to find the stick, unable to find the elimination. Dashes back, pulse bomb in. Nisha this time does end up falling. Fleta throws out the sticky bombs, forces the transcendence there from Monk. Offers up some healing here for the rest of the team as we go into overtime. Shanghai Dragons trying to close it out. Just a singular ult to work with. Jinmu goes for a dupe, goes for Lee Jae-gon. So now another rally potentially here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. So they look to win out the fight. The flip getting ready to come through, but Monk, Gaga, now Jinmu, they're all dead. Fate, the only one to fall. And as they clean up Nisha, that will be it. Shanghai Dragons, they can't get the win on Lighthouse, but as they shift over to Well, it is incredibly one-sided, much like we saw on Ruins. They will take Ilios and move up 1-0 in the series.
And part of the reason why Lighthouse is even a win for the Chengdu Hunters, again, is I believe that Shanghai Dragons overstepped and overstayed their welcome, went a bit too deep into spawn. Dragons, you know, they pull back, they play well, and they say, okay, let's play this a little bit normally. Let's not try and disrespect the other team too hard. Play a standard game of Overwatch. They do that, and you see the difference coming on through. Lip even, I think, you know, very much impressing on the Tracer here. Scariest moment is definitely when Fleta also goes for the Tracer copy, so now you're both Lip and Fleta on Tracer, both with pulse bombs. You look at it from Nisha's POV, and it's an absolute nightmare. You've got two of the best Tracers out there just hunting you down. And Chengdu Hunters, despite getting some reasonable good picks there, I think one of their best moments was Leave kills Lee Jae-gon at 99% to rally. Nisha then pops to rally, so they have a 5v4 plus rally advantage, but even with that, they couldn't beat the Shanghai Dragons, who only had 4. And that's a very telling moment, so unfortunately for Chengdu Hunters, even in some of their best moments, they just couldn't pull through. Reasonable good play on Lighthouse, though, so you give them that.
All right, well, let's see if that Lighthouse can come back, that performance from them, as we get ready to go into our hybrid map. It's going to be Midtown coming up next. Shanghai Dragons currently 1-0 in the lead. See if they get to match point, if the Chengdu Hunters even it up when we come back. And we're back. Shanghai kicking off the series with a win on Ilios, 2-1. Close. Chengdu Hunters able to get that victory there on Lighthouse, but the other 2 rounds just couldn't quite hold a candle to the Shanghai Dragons, who continue to look absolutely superb. Midtown now going to be coming up. We'll see if Shanghai Dragons can get a map win there to take this to match point, or if the Chengdu Hunters can tie it up. They absolutely need to, because just a reminder on the stakes, Chengdu Hunters need this win. In any condition, any score line, but they need the win if they want to make it into Midseason Madness.
The tournament lives depend on it now. With Fusion winning against the Charge, Hunters have to go flawless here. And I think Chengdu Hunters, they had some reasonable moments, some glimpses on Ilios that looked okay, but you know, during even more neutral moments or moments where I felt like Hunters were slightly ahead, it didn't look very clean. They couldn't quite clean it up. So many Shanghai members low on Ruins that Hunters failed to get kills on. Lee really is trying his hardest right now stat-wise. He is more than keeping up with the Shanghai Dragons. But I think a few other areas there are definitely not quite on par. The Sombra excursion there, not quite successful for the Chengdu Hunters. I feel like you definitely need to be a team that's ahead and controlling the map. So you're setting up dives with Jinmu Sombra, getting that damage and hacking Fatal up, but when you're behind, you're being spawn capped. Sombra really just does nothing for you there. Impressed with some of Jinmu's Echo. You know, this is a new hero that he has had to pick up for this year. Actually looked okay, especially versus Fleta, but largely Chengdu Hunters, it's Leave keeping up with the Shanghai Dragons, and the rest of them struggling.
I mean, it makes sense. You know, in the past we've seen Jinmu's Far and whatnot. Echo, obviously not quite the same at all, but similar. Take those guys.
Farah and better Farah.
Yeah. Well, with this map, though, coming through, Leave, you can see, already going to be moving over to the Sojourn. And something that has been looking really, really good as of late, something that was severely lacking for the longest time, was Jinmu's Tracer. But the last time out, he looked really good on it. So now he's going to be showing it once more. We'll see if he can get back into that form.
I just saw the stat line there as well. All-time record between these two teams is 9-2 in favor of the Shanghai Dragons. But the 2 that the Dragons did win with 3-0s. The most resounding one that we saw was actually last year, but I believe it was during Melee, where week 1 even, they got a 3-0 victory where Gaga popped off on the Winston and Leaf's Tracer was impeccable. I don't know if you remember. We were both there, but you know, that was the last time that Hunters actually beat the Dragons.
You know, Chengdu Zone and all that stuff, I'm sure those references were made. Safe to say. But yeah, I mean, Chengdu Hunters not being one of the original franchises in 2018, they don't get to pad their stats in the matchup versus the 0-40 squad, so it does look very wobbly for the Shanghai Dragons. We're able to start finding their groove there in 2019. What with the Stage 3 championship over the Shock, etc. Crash up, they find Leave. Support provided by Gaga, leaping over to the tube just to try to keep it covered, but this does leave Monk a bit exposed here on the point. Fate crashing through for just a moment with Lee J gone dead. He's trying to make his exit, but it's not being allowed, at least not yet. He manages to get inside, but Jinmu hounds him down, finds the elimination all the same.
And this is where Jinmu's ability on the Tracer becomes important, because Lee was really trying his best to carry on the Tracer on our previous map of Ilios. That duty now falls on top of Jinmu. He has to go up against Fleta, who traditionally has been one of our best Tracer players. So, it's a difficult game now for Jinmu to step up in that kind of way. So seeing him get that frag into Fate, finalize it, good stuff. Shanghai have reset completely. They're ready for the next push.
Fleta spotted there, being tracked by the Discord Orb, but Lip
good solo.
Taken down. Yeah, he was playing here, underpass. Gaga just gets on top of him. Solo kill for the Winston. Fate once more. Under fire, tries to get the pile driver in, but connects into the bubble. Good little footsteps there from Gaga. Keeps himself safe. Wrap around the corner, Leaf sending that rail through. Almost goes down for it though. Greedy play. He really manages to survive.
If he goes down, though, I think the point is done for. Dragons just push on forward and win. So that would have been rough indeed. Nano's available now, goes straight on top of Gaga.
Oh, the Izayaki under fire. That's going to be both supports taken down. Jinmu playing off the back of Gaga there with the Nano boost. Says thank you very much. Claims the kills into the kill feed. And that's half the time now drained away. Shanghai Dragons, not even a single tick established as Lip is in danger of being taken down. But no, a quick rail build. He'll find Jinmu.
And Chengdu need ults now. Now, they're very close to ultimates. Jinmu is a tracer, so can rejoin the team very quickly. Shanghai's pacing needs to ramp up massively so they can get this 5v4 before Jinmu arrives. At minimum, they should be forcing ults out of Hunters if they can get them in time. Hunters just a bare percentage points away. The fact that Shanghai have slowed down will give Hunters the ability to get ults.
Allows for everybody else to join back in. Gaga is body blocking there for a moment. Fate taking so much damage, can't roll out. Ends up getting dropped once more time, going to be bought. Jinmu drops the pulse bomb right there at their feet. Izayaki, he uses the Transcendence. This is catastrophic for the Dragons. A massive overstep on the ult, recall out. Jinmu staying safe, and well, it seems like Izayaki might live to fight another day. The stagger not going to be coming in. They get the Transcendence out.
Yeah, I mean, he won't be dying, but he'll have to use the, he'll have to kind of have that Walk of Shame back to spawn, right? Or at least regrouping with his own team. Transcendence, trying to save the rest of his team, but Fate and Lijiang already dead. Obviously, Lijiang will die with the pulse on him, doesn't care about the Trans at all. And Hunters, on top of that, have another Nano coming online, so Nisha's managed to build up another.
Jump around the flank, just keeping Lijiang honest. Minefield now going to be dropped here on the stairwell. Gaga throws the bubble in just to clear out a decent amount of space. Escort Monk down from that high ground. They look for the recontest.
Oh!
Monk taken down. Lijiang finding the elimination. Good pile driver set up there for the side of Fate. Lip now with the overclock pop finds Nisha. That's the supports out of the fight. Leave going to be finished off. Fate finding him, and Gaga not going to be able to survive despite the primal rage. Jinmu still dashing and ducking around somewhere, trying to find some extra picks, but Fate is on the hunt. The point is being capped.
And it should be capped at this stage as well, unless Monk wants to go for a last-minute Transcendence, but you don't have a team. You need some win conditions here. He's coming close. He's going to go for it. Feels like, yeah, he might actually.
Pushed out.
Leave has to go as well. Leave has to pop ult. Surely.
He gets whip shot away, pops the Transcendence, just keeps everybody alive here for the time being. 10% left to go. Leon Lijiang going to fall. Izayaki as well. Eliminated the overclock. Finds the elimination. Leave. Trying to go on the hunt. Finds Fleta. Gets the hit. Lip is taken down. And they're going to make it happen. The full hold. Fate knows it's over. He just sits still. 92.4%. Leave playing off the back of Monk's contest. They make it work. What a turnaround. The Chengdu Hunters full hold the Dragons.
That's your MVP from 2021, baby. Coming in with only a Transcendence. It's like a two-player retake. They just go for it. Gaga not even there. Was that an ace, by the way? I think Leave finished that off with an ace as well.
They may have.
Unbelievable shots coming on through. Eats a rail from Lip cleanly, but doesn't die. Then lands shots onto everybody else, including a sick flick onto Fleta. Unreal sights. I mean, Leaf has come online. He was still really keeping up, and more than keeping up with the Dragons on the previous map. But here, where Chengdu have some pretty successful defenses, Jinmu finds great value on his Tracer. It's looking over. Monk dies with Trans. Pretty much over from there. Nisha dies as well. Leaf would love to pop the overclock in that moment, but without any healing, he doesn't want to risk just losing the ultimate, so holds it. Monk, because he dies early, is the first person to come on back. Leave on the Sojin is a fast hero, and they just say, we're going to do it. Why not? Pop the Trance, make it happen. Major risk. That was if they fail that, that's two ultimates wasted, Achilles. Very high risk, but my goodness, is it also a high reward?
I mean, Chengdu go to the casino after this one because they're rolling the dice hot right now. Let's see what happens now as they go for the attack. Shanghai Dragons needing a fuller hold if they want to win this map and move up the match point. Otherwise, the Chengdu Hunters seeming like, in Leave in particular, seeming like he definitely wants to be a part of the Midseason Madness tournament.
Yeah, he's making
stand to make sure that they can get at least this map win.
Leave is single-handedly just controlling destiny. He's manifesting destiny. He's trying to will his way into the Midseason Madness as best he can. I gotta credit Gaga as well. The swap from Ball to Winston here worked out wonders. Nisha finding two nanos on that defense as well in quick succession. Jinmu even finding frags, but can they convert this? Okay, you've managed to get the hold. 92.4% though, so it's not quite over. Shanghai still have an opportunity. They get the opening first blood.
They do, and Fate does manage to make it out of there with his life intact. It was looking a bit dangerous for him, but manages to roll out. Would be a big punish if they could have gotten him. For now, Shanghai Dragons breathing a little bit more easily. Spletta just continues to play the flank, keeping eyes, relaying information for the rest of the squad to try to play off of. Fate going for the dive. They know that Monk is going to try to reconnect with the rest of the squad, but they get right on top of him before he can do it. A great punish here from the side of the Dragons. Fate out in the middle of nowhere, but they can't play off the sleep. ends up going down. Now Leave is going to be picked as well, and Nisha is not in a good spot. Between a rock and a hard place, Gaga up on the high ground, cannot escape. The cleanup finally comes through, they flush him out.
The most dangerous thing here is that Izayaki will get a Transcendence, so you can tell for the win condition via the Hunters, they're going for kind of like a one-and-done type composition, which is why I respect the Jinmu pick on towards the Genji. Usually you would probably be playing Tracer here, but well, you only just need to cap A. Working for a Nano Blade and using that as your win condition, even if the Nano Blade fails but you make good trades, you can come back in for a player advantage fight straight afterwards. So Hunters know what they need to do. It might take them the full 4 minutes to get it done, but they know they only need that one. And that one could also come from a great pick like that.
Yep. Huge value. Monk with a great headshot. It's going to get them onto the point. The first tick getting ready to come through, and Fate is still being zoned back, not contesting. So first tick locked in, even with Nisha gone. Monk continuing to get closer and closer to that transplant. However, gets on top of him, finds that elimination, but it will be at the cost of Izayaki, who now falls. Lijigon trying to stay alive.
Watch the blade.
Keeps going lower and lower. Doesn't have the rally. Leave dead. Overclock pop. Lip will find Jinmu. Finds Gaga. Picks him up. Lijigon dead on the back end of that fight, but doesn't matter. They've won this one out. Shanghai Dragons continuing to keep their heads above the water. A minute and 25 seconds remaining as they look for the fuller hold.
Yeah, Lip saves them. Big save there from Lip on the overclock, but Jinmu, you were saying they're rolling hot, but this time he loses big. He doesn't wait for the nano. Nietzsche's only a few percentage points off. They felt like they could win off the blade alone. It was a dry blade. Jinmu dies, and the blade should have been what finishes the game off and gives them the map. But now things look a little bit more dire. Nietzsche's probably going to have to nano Gaga instead.
Might be the target, or maybe the nano clock if Leaf can get that ready to go.
Let's try
away, but no, it's going to be a nano onto Jinmu once more. He's chasing him the back line, but the rally is now rolling from Lee Jae-gon. Fate once more off screen, going to be slept. The punish is there. Monk lines up the right click charge, gets the headshots through. The hamster is eliminated. Leave gets the rail across. Lee Jae-gon is dead. And now it's the final tick-ups coming in. Izayaki trying to see if they can go ahead and repeat history, but this time in their favor. The trans moves forward here onto the point. Now it's going to expire. Now it's going to be matched. Monk pops his own. Izayaki taken down. Fate has re-arrived, but needs to stay on this point. Even swinging around is allowing for percentage to be accrued. It seems like it's not going to matter in the end. They zone him back. The cap comes in. No fuller hold today. Shanghai Dragons making me believe for just a brief moment they take the clock down low, but the Chengdu Hunters will not be denied. The cap comes in, they tie it up 1-1.
I mean, honestly, what a great map from the Chengdu Hunters overall. Full hold into, you know, a little bit of mistakes on the attacking side. You have to consider the greed coming through in Jinmu as well. Just got a little bit too far ahead of himself. Play a little bit more patiently, wait for the nano. Could have been a different story, but I'm glad they still managed to get the win regardless because it felt like they deserved that win. They worked so hard to secure the defense. Leave major heroics off the back of Monk's Transcendence as well. A 2vx retake in this Overwatch. I mean, I think that is the epitome of what I love about Overwatch 2. That's the kind of thing that is simply not possible in Overwatch 1.
Yeah, I mean, or at least fewer and far in between when you get to see moments like that. Incredible from Leaf. We got to watch it again in the play of the game replay, but I'm sure it'll be a part of the post-match highlights for sure. An incredible clutch moment from him, and just great from the entire squad. Monk getting out there, popping that Transcendence, buying enough time, and then Leaf just connecting with those rails. Wonderfully done from the Chengdu Hunters. That does tie it up, and that means that they are one step closer to keeping themselves alive for the mid-season madness. Coming up next, we're going to be moving into Escort, and once more we have Dorado for you guys. We'll see what happens. We'll see who can move forward in this series when we come back.
This ends now. Precision and control.
And we are back. And while we didn't get to 5 maps in our first series, it's definitely still possible here for our second, but we're at least guaranteed 4. So maybe we can rename it to 4 Map Friday. Worst case scenario. Either way, we're avoiding the 3-0s. That's all I care about. And this series has certainly heated up. Chengdu Hunters, absolutely wonderful performance from them there on Midtown, getting the full hold onto the Shanghai Dragons. It gets close to being a fuller hold, but they managed to persevere at the end, and now it's all tied up 1-1.
And I don't think the narrative is that negative if Shanghai Dragons don't completely destroy the Hunters, because I think people have this kind of weird perception of the Dragons that, like, oh, okay, if they're winning, then they have to 3-0 everybody. But you have to give some respect that some other teams here are very competitive, and we saw that Chengdu Hunters not only took Seoul Dynasty to 5 in this particular patch and meta, this tournament cycle, but they almost probably have won that series as well, had they not C9 3 times. Chengdu are very good in this meta. In the mid-season Madness, Chengdu, in my opinion, are probably even potentially a better team than the Fusion, but they have a lot of catch-up to do. So I don't think it's out of the question at all that Chengdu are playing the Dragons close.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, in the past, this is a roster that Chengdu Hunters have been able to take down. You know, when it was 6v6 in Overwatch 1, when Chengdu Hunters, or rather when Shanghai Dragons went on to win the entirety of the Overwatch League, Hunters have been able to best them. So it's definitely not a bit of a head scratcher. I think, you know, the inconsistencies, the mistakes that Chengdu Hunters made does paint them in a negative light. But when they are not, you know, rather, when they are playing on the points, when they are contesting objectives, and we see the level of cohesion that we have been seeing from them as of late, they are a force to be reckoned with. There is not a team in this region that can go up against the Chengdu Hunters with confidence and say, yeah, we're going to be able to slaughter them. You never know what's going to happen.
And, you know, we've had the orange chicken ball, and I'm not saying every single matchup needs to have a name onto it, but there is a specific Chinese dish that is pretty traditional. It's the tomato egg stir fry, which when you think about the colors of the two teams, it does kind of match. So, you know, it's I had that dish in my childhood. If anybody that's Chinese knows it. But, yeah, here we go. Let's see how far in the distance we're going to get with this one. Both teams looking towards the Ash. Obviously, we saw in our previous series between Fusion and the Charge that Ash is very good on Dorado. Big dive map. Fate on towards the Winston. Love to see it.
All right, we'll see who's going to be able to come out on top. Have a develop-esque performance, perhaps.
It used to be on this team.
I think based on history, sounds like it's kind of a negative, but given what we saw from Develop earlier on this very map, it's very much a positive thing.
And it's kind of crazy because last year, you know, it's a different look for Leave as well, because we've seen plenty of Hunters on this map last year, but he was always the Tracer player here. So now he's the hit scan player of the Chengdu Hunters, has been for the entire year. Last year he was competing against Flitter, now he competes against Lib.
Sure, Flitter as well would love to take a bite out of him if he can. Fate under a hell of a lot of pressure, somehow managing to stay alive. We know how much of a rough time these Winstons can have when they're trying to deal with Zenyatta on the opposite side. And well, while Fate does manage to survive, it's going to be Lee Jae Gon who ends up going down. But it spotted around the back with the unscoped headshot coming through, really forcing him low. He continues to harass around the back lines, but Jinmu, he gets the better of him.
Wow.
I was about to say Jinmu's been passing him towards that pulse bomb buildup. He now has it. He gets the stick instantly. And there's some further stagger for you. Now they have to go ahead and back away from this position.
This guy's been queuing some quick play in the beta, I see. Chengdu Hunters, decent opening here. Gar going to take some opening space as well into, you know, the spawn. Bit of scouting, always love to see it. Nano available from Izayaki, so this is Shanghai's opportunity now. Nano will most likely go into Fate, as they're going to have to try and break high ground all over again. Halo sliding backwards, but still in the archway. You can see that Chengdu are just keeping eyes on Fate, because they know that he's going to be the Nano target.
Coach gun out to try to force them back. Fate continues to push forward. Monk falling lower and lower, but the rally is enough for him to survive. They cannot out-pressure. They cannot get that kill, and now with Monk surviving, he has the transit at the ready, and he pops it as soon as he gets the moment. But Gaga and Nisha, they're not a part of the healing. They end up getting taken down, dive to the back. And as the kills come through, and it seemed like maybe they were going to be able to continue this hold, what with Monk having the ults ready, but just not in a position to really get the max value out of that healing. They go down, and that's going to be the cap.
I mean, the rally was good for quite some time, right? And the eggs turn green, as they say, as the green HP, Monk and Leave both were purple during that, so the green HP helping them just stay alive for as long as they did. Hunters ultimately still fall prey to the Shanghai Dragons, who were pushing that entire time. Off the back of a couple ultimates, Shanghai able to make their way over towards B. Hunters still hold on to a couple of ults, so should be a bomb defense coming on through Gaga Minefield as well, will always give them a lot. So it shouldn't take long here for Hunters to establish some sort of good defense.
Yep. Challenging the high ground. We'll see how Dragons are going to go about it. Likely it's going to be involving a Winston and a Primal Rage, one would think.
Oh, another
Pulse in
step!
the back. It connects onto the shield, though. Lee Jae-gon managing to hold that right click fast enough, keeps himself protected. So this time around, Jinmu not getting the kill, but the stick accuracy, I suppose you could say, is still going to be looking rather good for him. Target prioritization as well. Dashing around the backs, looking for flat-outs, forcing him from one mega pack to the other. Continuing to try to hound him down, keep him occupied so the supports have that much more peel.
I love the confidence from Jinmu to do this because, you know, he barely gets the Mega Pack, but, you know, in the past, you'd never think that Jinmu would be able to hold his own up against Fled, but here we are. Monk takes down Fed as well, Sans Prime. I mean, the Primal just didn't even come out.
I mean, this is the thing. You don't have that dive to come through from the Tracer and the Winston. It's just a Winston by himself, and he just gets ripped apart. Cart does advance a decent amount here, but 2 minutes remaining. It's absolutely holdable for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Dive in once more, looking for Fleta, and yeah, I mean, Jinmu's just able to keep Fleta on, is able to keep him occupied, so that dive, they cannot find Monk.
I've got to say as well, you know, the payload distance is pretty significant, so despite Dragons losing that fight, in a way they still win because they can now translate that into objective pressure where Chengdu have to be considerate of all angles. The rest of the map of the courtyard is now completely opened up. Jinmu has to spend a lot of time contesting payload now because you can't allow players like Fleta to get free push on. That was great pushing from Dragons despite losing.
See how they decide to get back over onto the cart. Fake gonna be knocked down to the low ground. Lee Jae-gon rally pop, trying to escort everybody forward. Taking damage from both flanks now. Pulse bomb from Fleta, however, will find leave. That opens things up a good amount for them. Jinmu, pulse bomb about to be up 5% from now. See if he can find another stick. As the push continues to come through, Transcendence going to be used. Monk dropping down, escorting the rest of the squad forward so they can keep this payload locked into position. Pulse bomb still at the ready. Jinmu popping the recall, looking for the target. This time it's not going to lead to a stick. It's not going to lead to a kill, but Izayaki and Fleta both still fall all the same. Lip chunked away at, still sitting here on the high ground, finds lead, but is quickly traded back. Shanghai Dragons now have 50 seconds left to try to get this push through to B.
And, you know, a great thing about Hunters on this comp now is that everyone is playing heroes that they're very good at as well. Jinmu gets a, you know, very nice staggered kill coming on through. Time is really running up for the Shanghai Dragons, but we could be seeing the hold coming on through and a further stagger. This can't happen for the Dragons.
Staggers. What is happening? Fate and Lee Jae-gon both dead after the fight has already concluded. That is absolutely huge. Gonna be looking at a 10-second contest here. Fate now swapping back over to the ball as the rest of the team starts making their way forward. Trying to scout things out. Nano versus the minefield, which has been dropped in. Nano has to be used just to keep Lip alive. Still gets jumped on. Still, however, manages to find an elimination. Takes out Monk. It wasn't even a target that was up close and personal with him. He went for long sight lines. Gets that kill. Cart now going to be contested. The overtime rolling through. Nisha taken down as well. Now Gaga out of the fight. Fleta coming in with 2 huge pickoffs. Cart rounding the corner, advancing forward with Gaga dead. I don't think they're going to be able to contest it this time around. Monk does not have his Transcendence available, and you can see them sat back. Dash in, Jinmu does get the touch, so they are going to try to play this one out. Gaga now arriving, and Lip is dead. Pulse bomb from Fleta, gets the kill onto Monk, taking one of the supports out of the fight. Nisha's still going to be there, 20% away from having the rally online, and once more Jinmu, he lets the pulse bomb fly, but it's not going to find the stick, and now Lee Jae-gon's okay. I'm safe to use the rally. Uses that one, tries to keep everybody alive as Izayaki was taken down, but the rally does not last very long. The headshot comes in, Lee finds the kill, but Fleta finds another, taking down the enemy Ashe. Jinmu dashing around, looking for a target, avoids the pile driver, pops the recall, keeps himself safe. Fleta low, dead. They get the kill. It's just Fate now on the card. Gaga trying to smack him off in this position as best as humanly possible. Lip up on the high ground. Lee Jae-gon rejoined, swapping over onto the Lucio. Lip gets the headshot. Gaga's dead. The cap is there. The Chengdu Hunters managed to get that extra minute and a half, but the Chengdu Hunters are still pushing forward. Nisha has the rally rolling. They're looking for some extra staggers. They're looking to lock this cart out of point C. Shanghai Dragons, they'll be grateful to get a second lease on life.
I mean, a great recovery from the Shanghai Dragons to force themselves to get this cap, but my goodness, I think Chengdu Hunters would be a little bit upset about that. The fact that they were almost winning that fight, I mean, in the OT, Rally comes online. They were down 2 supports. 3 players were living for forever, despite not having any supports. And then the camp comes through. Hunters, I don't know what happened there. Maybe just one person stepped away for a millisecond and it was done for, but I truly believe they could have held on B. And we'll have to see if this one comes back to bite them a little bit later on their own attack, because they're going to push into C as well now.
And Gaga is parting up the minefield. Now the Bob going to be invested as well. Goes charging over towards the stairwell, matching Bob out from Leave, and it's finding so much value. Both the supports taken down. Fate just eating shots. Lip, however, managing to find 3 kills. A 4th kill for Lip. As Monk will go down. One of them's the Bob. Doesn't necessarily count, but either way, an immense amount of value found as he looks for Jinmu. He dashes over to the right now. Advances forward towards the cart. Takes the recall out to safety. The cart advancing forward. 10 seconds remaining for the Shanghai Dragons. Just a pulse bomb to play off of.
Shanghai Dragons, they have the closer respawns though, so the hold should still come on through if they don't make further mistakes, so they get these picks as well. Lee Jae-gon barely surviving. Jim has been trying to get Lee Jae-gon down, but the shield goes up.
The first couple sticks from Jinmu looking clean this time around. Hasn't been able to really find too much purchase. The shield stick hasn't gotten eliminations from that. Fate falling low. The Nano used Izayaki keeping him alive. Gaga going to be burned down by the Dynamite. Nano forward, Lip once more finding a second elimination. Jinmu taken out of the fray. The dive comes in, they're looking for Leave. They juggle him out into the open.
Good sleep.
Dart will buy him a little bit of space. Leave staying alive. Cart not contested. The OT bleeding away. They barely managed to touch. Lee Jae-gon making it happen. Coach Gun forces them back for just a moment. Pile driver in from Gaga. Looking to knock somebody in the air. Looking to isolate a target so that Leave can click some heads, but he is still under pressure. Anisha is now dead. The rally is rolling from Lee Jae-gon. Leave has been felled. They're getting on top of Monk. The shield bash will finish him off. And once more, it seems like the Shanghai Dragons will not go down. They never say die. The cart will push to the end.
And a 4K, I believe, from Lee Jae-gon as well. At least 3 coming through via the rally. Big frags. Rally will carry them through at the end of the day. And the Shanghai Dragons, after recovering from what was looking like an awful situation on B, Lip receiving the Nano from Izayaki to stay alive, and then getting the frag onto Monk, continuing to push on through. Here we go. This will be the Bob frags coming on through from both teams, right? They got the multiple frags. We saw a little bit earlier on. Kind of just forgot about Lip's Bob after it woke up. But a situation that was very preventable for the Hunters, considering, you know, there is a very good opportunity, a very real opportunity there for them to actually have held B, not allowed the cap to come through. And I did say, like, could this come back to bite them? Now, it's going to come back to bite them heavily, because not only did Dragons get B, but they snowballed C as well. Now, Hunters still got a lot of frags into the final fight, was extremely back and forth. Leave even receives the Nano this time, almost akin to exactly what, you know, Izayaki did for Lip. But the rally difference, the rest of Shanghai regrouping. Hunters, unfortunately not able to get the rest of the frags. Jinmu, maybe if he got that stick off the Lee Jae-gon, it could have been different. You know, so many if-buts and maybes.
Hello there.
Yeah. Well, we don't live in the multiverse. We can't just dive into other realities and see what would have happened.
5, 4, 3.
Now we just have to focus on the attack of the Chengdu Hunters, who do need to complete Dorado if they want to move up to match point. Otherwise, Shanghai Dragons will be one step closer to denying them access, and also one step closer to potentially overtaking the Hangzhou Spark for the Midseason Madness. Leave jumping back up for there a brief moment, but didn't receive enough healing, so decides to cheat back. Doesn't want to get eliminated by Fate right off the bat, who's just having a bit of a wet noodle fight. Hugging around the corner, says, yeah, this is fine. Zap away, my friend. Your ult percentage gain is not going to be too massive. Goes back over once more, just occupying space, keeping Leave taken care of here.
Super well played by Fate there. Like you said, he knew he wasn't going to go down. He completely sort of challenges, I wouldn't say completely nullifies, but he definitely challenges the Chengdu Hunters TP play into the high ground. And Leave's been kind of struggling to find the correct angle so far. Definitely looking for his counterpart on the other side, who is Lip. Payload, slight movements, but nothing insane. Again, it just comes down to the fact that Fate has been controlling space.
It has been. Let's fall low. And, I mean, Leave just kind of playing straight up alongside the cart. He's looking for line of sight. Knows that he needs to get a headshot, trying to open things, and that could have been a big one. Slow run back from Lee Jae-gon would have been quite the punish, but doesn't get the hit across. Gaga now knocked down below half HP as the Chengdu Hunters approach to the side room, but Leave gets caught. He was left behind, the last one through the door. The door swings shut right on his foot. Kills now continue to fly out as the Nano does get used, invested here onto Gaga. Lee Jae-gon will finally fall, but the rest of the team is still here. They're still healthy.
Oh, late
As
death.
Monk gets cleaned up for some additional stacker. Yep, late death as Flutter finds 2.
And I was going to say as well, you know, that one kill into Izayaki is actually usable, but now that Monk's dead as well, they're going to have to wait too long, so Izayaki should be able to rejoin the fight. Ends up being a very expensive nano for not a lot. I was going to say expensive nano for what will be Hunters getting a 5v4. That no longer being the case. Sojin also being used by Leave now as the swap does come through. A little bit strange because I think the Widowmaker was doing a lot of work. You know, ult-wise, Leave was keeping up in damage despite not finding the headshots. It's a trade.
Oh, Jinmu finds the second support. That's Izayaki and Lee Jae-gon taken care of. Nisha, the last one left standing, now will die. Flutter manages to get that kill. Rotates back, grabs the Mega Pack. Builds a couple more dashes. A minute and 30 seconds remaining as Leave cannot escape. He tries to slide away from Fate, but it's right into the welcoming arms of Bob. Bob's getting some work in today.
I think this has basically been the entire story of Dorado so far for me, which is to say that Hunters will get a reasonable lead, Shanghai Dragons get some good trades, and then Hunters can't close it out. Like, you know, it's like one step forward, 2 steps backwards a little bit for the Chengdu Hunters. Not necessarily from their own play, but Dragons are just forcing them, you know. Hunters walk up, Dragons shove them back. Let's see if Hunters can do a bit of shoving themselves via the blade. It's not looking good.
Jinmu had a slight little window of opportunity to find that elimination, but then the Transcendence comes through from Lee Jae-gon. He keeps Izayaki alive. The Nano goes forward. Gaga now taken down. Lee Jae-gon finding that kill. Tries to stay alive, but Lee will finally finish him off with that rail. Jinmu 20 HP in a dream. Dashing and ducking around. Somehow still has not died. He kills them both! What just happened on screen?
There's no way.
Jinmu had no HP.
He knows.
1v2. And somehow he kills them both, and that's enough for them to get the cap.
Yeah.
What a clutch. Look at that smile on his face.
Jinmu Happy is the name of that emote. Look it up.
I need a replay. Stat.
That is incredible. No HP, wins a 1 versus 2 like that. And I was going to say, he's doing a great job of distracting the Shanghai Dragons backline so the Hunters can get some decent push in there. Jinmu will probably eventually die, but he's buying great space, and he's like, no, I'll just kill them. You know, why not?
You run that simulation 100 times, and I think 99 of them, Jinmu dies. He found the one opportunity where he could get that victory.
The one multiverse.
The dynamite. Yeah. Once, I know we said we don't do that, but we just did. Jinmu made it happen. He opened the portal, and he continues to do so as Lee Jae-gon gets taken down. The support's out of the fight. Fate, no hope in the world, ends up going down to that right-click headshot. Flutter trying to escape. He's got 1 HP, and Gaga just managed to clear the corner, and that is going to be such an immense amount of
Here we go.
Thank you, observers.
What they just don't enemies on 15 HP.
He just
completely demolishes them. Wow.
Jinmu just Neo'd out. He just Neo'd out of control. He just dodged every shot.
That is an outplay.
Kicking themselves for that one.
That's an outplay with a capital O. Holy.
Unbelievable. Blade pulled, finds one, looks for another, sets up the kill on the Izayaki, and I mean the Chengdu Hunters just continue to cruise along here for B. Fate rejoining, goes to the pile driver, but ends up dying. That's the cap. 3 minutes nearly to chew through now for the Shanghai Dragons if they want to avoid extra innings.
I just had a capital O in my pants looking at that play, and now Chengdu Hunters 240 still remaining. I got the chuckle out of you. I appreciate it. And decent. I mean, that entire B has just been... I mean, we barely got to see B because we were in the middle of a replay. We come out of the replay, and Gaga's damn near capped the entire point, so Hunters have been snowballing the entire way through. They've really
They had
catched
the
up.
Discord out. Flood has been tracked, but the call came through. Nisha sitting back. He was trying to watch for that Tracer flank, but it ends up costing him as Fate arrives. They get the pinch. They get the kill. Jinmu now taken down, pile driver, knocking Flood into the air, but Gaga has to make his exit. Just build up the minefield in that little excursion. Just trying to escape, or escort rather, Monk out to safety, but the shield bash will be the finishing blow as Leave also under fire. Seems like there's enough firepower there for the Chengdu Hunters to force the Dragons back.
Okay, so this is the reset that Hunters never got to do against Dragons, by the way, on their own C defense, and that can be a huge difference maker. So despite there being 2 minutes, Hunters have no time to dilly-dally around. They have to be very stringent with how they play the rest of this timer, so it's coming online now. Can they wait for the Nano Blade? It might just have to be a dry Nano on the Jinmu, to be honest with you.
Pulse out, finds Nisha's shield, but the pile driver and both DPS focus firing him. He does end up going down. Solid start to the hold here on the final stretch from the side of the Dragons. They just corner Lee, making sure he cannot slide out to safety. Monk as well, likely to suffer a similar fate as he gets popped up into the air. So some late staggers coming through. Shanghai Dragons punishing at every twist and turn where they can.
Yeah, that's a minute gone now, so with 1 minute left, Hunters have to have a flawless run through the entire DC. Payload distance is very poor, which means it's going to be difficult. You are looking at a situation where Hunters basically cannot lose any more fights. As the OT swings around, Shanghai Dragons will be massively favored in that OT, so Hunters need to get max distance before that happens. They are very much waiting for this blade to come on through, but even with the Nano Blade, it won't be enough because you have to win like 2 to 3 fights here as the Hunters.
Minefield on the high ground from Fate. Slept, antied, knocked to the low ground. Not under too much threat though. Gaga goes crashing through, wakes him back up, gives him a little nudge. 4 ults versus the near 3 of the Dragons. Blade first, push up. Jinmu looking for target. Narrowly sees Lip, but he manages to track him. Gets his Izaki as well. That's enough. That's going to be the opener here, but now they have to continue to win out the fights. Followed with the pulse bomb. Gets leave. Their work not done yet. Chengdu Hunters advancing forward. Fate arriving here on the high ground. Going to be knocked back. Low HP. Retreats.
Double support ultimates, by the way, for Shanghai Dragons, so Hunters still have their work cut out for them. Leave needs to go absolutely sicko with this overclock when it happens.
It's a Nano on the flat up. He's looking for a target. Jinmu the first one to fall. Lip with a headshot. Gets that connection. Now the bomb is available. Bomb's finding an immense amount of value for him so far here on this map. Let's see if he can do it again. It's thrown in. Now it's going to be woken up. Monk going to be taken down. Nisha gone with a whip shot, finding the kill. Nisha trades it back, making it a 1-for-1, but Nisha himself will end up dropping. No supports now in the fight for the Chengdu Hunters. The damage cut in half. They get the sleep onto Gaga, off the cart. And while it gets close, while there's some wild moments, some incredible clutches throughout this for the side of the Chengdu Hunters, for Jinmu in particular, the Shanghai Dragons will be able to successfully defend. Now they move up 2-1. One more map for them. They take the series. They get 1 step closer to overtaking the Hangzhou Charge in the overall standings. And they're 1 step closer from knocking the Chengdu Hunters out of mid-season madness contention.
Well, that's the thing about this team, right? When you look at what happens on B, it seemed like they should have just been able to hold on B, and Hunters wouldn't even be looking at that situations. Hunters would be 2-1 up ahead, looking at match point as well. But the Shanghai Dragons, they will overcome the difficulties they had on that B push. They will have a far cleaner C push as well. And for the Hunters, they ran out of time, got spawn camped on their C approach for more than a minute. Cannot allow stuff like that to happen. They have great moments, but Shanghai Dragons still overall far more consistent.
Well, let's see what happens now. New Queen Street coming up next. Chengdu Hunters, they've had some magical moments when it comes down to these push maps. Can they have it once more when it matters the most? They need to win there, take this into a map 5 if they want to be able to take down the Shanghai Dragons. Otherwise, Shanghai will be eliminating them from the Midseason Madness tournament. We'll see what happens from contention, I should say. Obviously, the tournament hasn't happened yet. But anyway, that map coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere, guys. This has been such a nail-biter series. For those of you who are here watching it live, you get to say, yeah, I was there when that series happened. It was absolutely wild. We're going to see the conclusion of it, or at least get 1 step closer to it when we come back. So do not go anywhere. And we're back. The action continues. 2-1 the scoreline right now as the Shanghai Dragons were able to win on Dorado, but it was not an easy affair for them whatsoever. Fighting tooth and nail is the Chengdu Hunters. They know better than anybody, better than us, better than everybody watching right now that the tournament lives are on the line. They have to get a win here if they want to stay alive, and they have to do it again in their next series. They need 2 wins if they want to stay alive for the Midseason Madness. Shanghai Dragons, however, are looking to put an end to it here with what could be the last map of New Queen Street.
Possibly. And I think, speaking to the Hunters, the Dragon side of things now, is, we've looked at the Hunters. Admittedly, they have looked great this series, but when it really comes down to Shanghai Dragons in terms of their overall play, individually, obviously fantastic. Macro, great as well. Good objective control. Just their ability to make those comebacks happen as well. I go back to the Izayaki Nano into Lip, who then gets a frag onto Monk. Speaking of Lip, by the way, I have a fun fact for everyone at home as well this time. I hope most of them have been fun for the people at home, but this one in particular. Now that the beta is there, you've all been playing the beta, hopefully. If you haven't, unlucky, but hopefully you get in. When you press tab, you all know what your damage numbers are. So you've probably finished a bunch of games. You've looked at the tab. You've seen, some big numbers. Sometimes you get a 10,000 damage game, and you're like, wow, that's a lot of damage. I probably did quite well, right? I don't know what the highest number that you've seen in your lobby so far is, but looking at the stats right now, I can tell you that Lip, at the end of Dorado, and this is without going to time bank, by the way, without going to the second phase again, we kept it within the original time. No time bank here. Lip had 20,004 damage. He broke the 20k.
Okay. That's kind of wild, kind of crazy. I think we saw, total damage dealt from MN3 in our last series was like 37,000 or something, roughly?
Over 4 maps. Lip did 20k in 1 map. With no time bank. No time bank, just regulation.
If somebody wants to convert that to per 10 minutes, I would love to see what that figure ends up.
10,893 per 10.
There you go. Nutty. Absolutely nutty. Anyway, here's the dive into the back line. They're looking for the supports. Nisha kind of hugging against the corner. But as I said, they're looking for the supports. Monk decided to get his hands dirty. Takes down Izayaki, and the first fight victory goes the way of the Chengdu Hunters. They will be the one getting the bot pushing first.
Alright, so good opening picks coming on through. As the only one that actually died there was Leave, got hunted down by the Dragons, but the rest of the Dragons, minus Flitter, fell over. Flitter's still alive, just kind of lurking through. See that Gaga's already advanced his positioning to scout out some positioning from the other side. And now is Fate and Flitter wrap around and link up. They have to do something about this high ground. I mean, we see this kind of middle section, this middle high ground being controlled a lot by teams after winning the first fight, especially double supports hiding up there.
Maintaining control of the walkway. 33 meters already established here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters with the bot locked in place for the time being. Gaga rolling through the back, going dangerously low, and he kind of bonks his head on the door frame. Ends up falling, and that's the turning point here for the Shanghai Dragons as they look to take control without the tank. Somebody to hide behind and create some distractions. The Chengdu Hunters go into the meat grinder. Monk the last one to fall as the bot's already been rotated back. Lee J gone, keeping it moving in the right direction. Now the push will begin for the Dragons.
Yeah, so you have the Dragons kind of contesting the walkway, right? Fate and Flitter push both the supports of Hunters into that health pack room down below, and then the Dragons collapse, and better yet, they didn't have to use ultimates for it. So, very minor amount of pushing from Hunt. Well, that's not that much. 34.94 is okay, but Shanghai Dragons now control, and the ability to snowball further forward as well with ultimates online. Nano target will be interesting. Maybe just even on Lip. I mean, I think Flitter and Lip will be ideal targets.
Either one. Not really a bad choice for you on the side of the Shanghai Dragons. As it turns out, I mean, hell, even if you just use it on the Lee J Gone, I'm sure he'll probably come up with a couple kills. Speaking of which, Gaga crashing through, narrowly makes it over the health pack.
Oh my god, his HP.
Has that shield up, and does manage to stay alive, at least for a little bit longer here. Flutter, however, now being chased out. Does retreat successfully. Bot once more going to start pushing here for the side of the Shanghai Dragons as they look to overtake and take the lead. Bob is going to be sat there. Not killed off, he'll just make his exit naturally. Rally rolling, Nisha now has that expired.
Yeah, well.
Headshots flying through, and Lip finds Jinmu, Flutter finds Nisha. As Gaga goes down, that's going to be a massive window now for Shanghai Dragons. The lead certainly going to be theirs. Lead rolling forward, trying to keep this contested, but just too much pressure being applied, too many targets to have to clear. He can't quite make it happen. Dragons will grab the lead and may just be able to actually grab this checkpoint as well.
And important for Lee to go for the kill attempt there because, you know, on every other map you'd slide backwards and try and rejoin and reset. Here, if you even get one kill, it's a big deal. I like that freeze frame on Fate, by the way. It looks eternally happy, so I'm enjoying it.
White Fate happy. Minefield just to stop them from dropping down out of the window, but Monk does manage to find Fleta. Jinmu getting a second kill, now a third. As both supports falling to the Chengdu Hunters Tracer. Lip crashed across there. Gaga rolls into him. And while the lead is established, the bot once more going to be taken by the side of the Chengdu Hunters, shipping it back across the opposite side of the map. We'll see how much distance they can gain.
No cap, though, so really important that Hunters contested when they did.
Yeah. Preventing
the cap is definitely everything in this sort of game mode. As Hunters made it expensive for Shanghai, who ended up using all their ultimates. Hunters also responded with ultimates as well, right? So both teams now heading into a neutral where no one's going to have realistically an ultimate. Maybe Lip in this next fight, that'll be it. See what kind of neutral play we can get as Hunters need to find some way to actually engage. Pushbot is not going to make any further movements until they get kills.
Sleep out, pile driver down.
Gaga won again.
Takes Slip to half HP. Izayaki dead off screen in the meantime. Gaga finding some nice value. Jinmu widely ignoring the Ashe, just trying to get onto the supports and causing chaos, which is something that the Chengdu Hunters often do thrive in. Exchange now on the Wrecking Balls. Lee Jae-gon taken down. Jinmu once more finding a support. Looks like he's not going to be able to get the 2-for-1 special this time out, but still is finding good values. The Bob just going to be holding the bot in place.
It's an unfortunate place as well. He just kind of hides behind the barricade, which means the rest of the Chengdu Hunters don't have to really deal with the Bob. Just wait it out. But the waiting time gives Shanghai the ability to respawn, right? So we are into another 5v5.
Okay, there's the checkpoint now for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. The forward spawn is theirs. Flooded taken down. Pressure forward here onto Izayaki. Gets popped up into the air. Orb of Harmony from Lee Jae-gon. Not going to be nearly enough to keep him alive. And he will go down on the back end of the fight as Monk claims him. Lip now dead as well. The stagger's looking absolutely monstrous. Chengdu Hunters coming up with kill after kill. Bot's break going to be expired. Somebody goes back. There you go. The push is going to start coming through, but Shanghai Dragons instantly find 3 on the back end.
The 71 is very recoverable for the Dragons as well, right? They can win a couple of fights while pushing. They will get 71, so fantastic recovery from the Shanghai Dragons to get at least a couple of frags in. You have to kind of go balls to the wall to get whatever frags you can find, turn into a 5v4, and it will be a 5v4 that sticks because Hunters have to come back from such a long distance to make it happen. Because Hunters actually have the lead here, they can play fairly defensively. It's a lot of ultimates online for both teams.
With that overclock pop, Lee finds Izayaki. Transcendence going to be used by Lee Jae-gon. Overclock back end, not going to be finding too much. The rail won't connect. Bot gets up 57 meters here. As I believe the checkpoint has been hit. It has.
Transforced.
And they will leave it. Oh, wow. I didn't quite catch how it was forced.
Pulse bomb.
Looks a bit questionable in the end. Oh, perhaps. That would make sense, I suppose. Well, either way, don't have that tool anymore. Fate makes his exit. Monk getting jumped on down low. HP. Nano out onto Fleta. He's looking for this kill, but everybody from the Hunters actually just piles in on top of him.
That's good.
They managed to trade it back. Fleta going to be the one who ends up falling. Fate drops in the minefield, but he will also go down to the Chengdu Hunters once more in control of the bot.
It's not too bad for Dragons considering they got the cap right. That means they don't have to wait for it again. Brilliant snowball kill coming through from Gaga as well, who's been really insane this map for me. How many times has Gaga managed to just slip through the fingers of the Shanghai Dragons, escaping on 1 HP while being extremely annoying, contesting backlines, getting kills on backlines, solo kills on Izayaki gets away on 1 HP, just stuff like that. And then body blocking is all helping his teammates, keeping his supports alive and dealing with Fleta. Gaga's been really strong on this ball matchup.
Dynamite not going to find anything. Bot once more. Escorted back here from the Shanghai Dragons. Trying to get this back over into Chengdu Hunters territory. As Jinmu just dashes out, locks it in place here for a brief moment. He's looking for Fleta. Takes him low, they force the recall. He's in a bad spot as well. Recall's right next to Gaga. Now has the dash out, wrap back around to join in with the rest of the squad.
Look at this though, Hunters don't even have to push.
Totally fine with this.
They're just defending. They're in the high ground. They're in the walkway. They're not really forced to go further forward. Okay, Fleta gets double. That's insane. That will give Dragons the push now.
Yep, both the supports taken out in one fell swoop. Finds Jinmu as well for his troubles. Now it's looking for leave. Can he get the 4K? Dashes over the Mega Pack, going to be stolen away. Nate is there to try to buy some space, but Lip will arrive to go ahead and help his cohort.
I can tell you how it happened.
Down.
I don't even need a
By
replay
all
for this.
means.
I can guarantee it is, both supports playing on walkway. Fleta knows how to contest that area. We've seen him contest it with Fate in the past. This time he can solo contest it, lands one stick, one support would have run into the other, and that entirely breaks the defense. For Hunters, the strategy will sound: defend the midpoint, have high ground control, do not push. But Fleta breaks it.
Yeah, the bot once more being taken away. Just a little bit of extra distance, shifting it back. The Dragons snatch it back up. Little golden box of potential victory right in front of them here. Golden line, I should say. Bot for now just going to be sat on the checkpoint. The forward spawns there, but now they're going to have to utilize it because Lip and Lee gone. Both get eliminated. Fleta trying to stay elusive, trying to stay alive. Pulse bomb not quite there. 30% away as Izayaki will fall, and once more the Chengdu Hunters will stop Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah.
They're rotating this back, and Lip, he's abandoning it. He's swapping over to the Sombra.
And that's, I think part of me thinks it's smart because you want to have fast heroes, but it's just not a good character, right? We've established that even Lip Sombra is not going to be enough to make Sombra work, and you say golden line of victory, it literally is now, because if you reach that, you just win. We're about to hit the OT. So forget about anything else. No one's having any dreams of finishing the map. Hunters are just trying to play this one strategically. They're just pushing the payload back over towards Dragon's territory, and then they back out. They don't need to force a fight. They just got to waste time.
Getting a kill on the Gaga would have been massive there if they could have gotten it, but they do not finish him off. The pulse bomb from Fleta. Not going to be able to find any value. Same with Jinmu's. Tracer's not finding kills, but Izayaki gets the shot across on the Monk. Now Nisha going to be taken down. That's the support set of the fight. Some space
gonna go
here
in.
for the side of the Shanghai Dragons. It's going to come down to one final fight. The Chengdu Hunters, they lose way too many people. They need to reset right here, right now.
Jinmu shouldn't have backed out. Jinmu should have backed up both Leave and Gaga when their supports died. You just want to dive straight into Dragons, because if you get any trades, the OT hits, you respawn with 5, and the Dragons have less than 5. So if they missed out on the opportunity to trade anything, now this is going to be final fight territory. 2 ultimates versus 1.
So very close. The map 5 on the line. Midseason Madness, everything to play for. But Nisha, he's going to be taken down. The nano goes on the Fleta, and he immediately utilizes it. Rally rolling from Lee Jae-gon as well. Prince Head is now expiring from Monk, and the
Oh my
kills
God.
continue to fly through. They are just getting ripped to shreds. The Shanghai Dragons, they do not want this to go to map 5. They say, no, no, no. This will, from now on, forever be known as 4 Map Friday. They will get the push across. They take it away from the Chengdu Hunters. They fought so very hard to try to keep the tournament alive, but unfortunately, this is its conclusion. A 3-1 series once more, as Shanghai will take it. Chengdu Hunters no longer can qualify for the Midseason Madness.
It's just, you gotta give major credit to the Hunters for how close they actually play the Dragons. They are the first team so far to actually make the Dragons sweat on the Dragons' revenge tour. They come back right after starting out 0-6 in the Midseason Madness. But like I sort of said here, Hunters officially now are out, and you have to start considering many moments at not just this particular match. I mean, we can go back to Dorado. I think that's fairly winnable. New Queen Street, fairly winnable. Dragons, though, they're the more clutch team at the end of the day. When push comes to shove, when we hit the OTs, when we hit the very dire moments, Jinmu and Lee did God's work today. But the Shanghai Dragons, that last fight on New Queen Street, getting those cleanups, Fleta getting the double pulse bomb as well to even turn the fight around on New Queen Street, stuff like that. The nano save onto Lip, on Dorado, all these kind of things that, slowly turn things around for the Shanghai Dragons. That's what makes them the best team, because they win in the most dire of moments.
Incredible clutch, I mean, shown here on New Queen Street, shown earlier on Dorado, getting that point B cap into the finish of the map. Shanghai Dragons, a team that you can never really count out. Like I said, they never say die. They fight to the bitter end, as do the Chengdu Hunters, but unfortunately, the end for them, for their tournament qualification run, it ceases here. But still, positive signs. And it's just unfortunate that this is, we're not going to be able to see them in international competition, at least not this time around. Obviously, playoffs at the end of the season and whatnot. That it seems like with the level that they're hitting, with Jinmu being able to play Tracer and really contend and go toe-to-toe with the likes of Fleta, it seems pretty damn good for Chengdu's Hunters of, their hopes of being in the playoffs at the end of it all. But this is where the road ends. They still can do a slight favor, as we kind of teed up, for the side of the Shanghai Dragons later on by helping them get into that next slot. But enough about that. We'll talk about it a little bit more in a bit. For now, let's go ahead and highlight our player of the match. I think this could have gone a couple different ways, as per usual, with the side of the Shanghai Dragons, but in the end, it's Lip.
It is, and he showed up on the Tracer on map number 1. really setting the stage for the Shanghai Dragons nice and early. Again, I hear that he didn't really have a lot of playtime on previously. What short playtime he did have last year had really good stats on, so glad that now he's kind of picking that up to alleviate Fleta from those duties. But really, we're talking about the Lip Ash. This is the hero of the day for basically everybody. I mean, Lip performed so astoundingly good here across all of the moments he had on the Ash. I noted as well, statistically, on Dorado, he finished with 20,004 damage. And again, no time bank. You know, when you see records of like gigantic damage numbers from the Overwatch 2 beta, like, oh, I got like whatever number. Usually those games go like major time banks, really long games. That was an under 20-minute map for Dorado. So yeah, it's just insane stuff from Lip at the end of the day. As you know, New Queen Street was a far quicker map. I don't know about the 28 5-3-5 here. I have it on record. I have on my screen that he actually did get 20k on Dorado. So I don't know all the calculations at the end of the day, but take it with what you will. Ash was the hero of the day for I think all 4 of our teams, and Lip was one of the top ones, if not maybe the best one today.
Yeah, it was very much just an Ash showcase day. I mean, Leave, like you were talking about earlier with his stat line, utterly pounding. Lip, winning player of the match off the back of, widely the Ash play, Develop looking good. MN3 also winning player of the match for his own Ash play earlier in our first series. So definitely a good day to be a hit scan stan, I suppose. But yeah, looking forward to seeing Chengdu Hunters, in their future series, because obviously we're still in the qualifiers. There's still matches that they have to play and whatnot. We're not into the tournament yet. That's going to be coming up in a little bit of time. But I'm excited to see the continued growth of the squad. Jinmu really finding his footing when it comes down to the Tracer. He continues to, I think, he looked better on the Tracer today than he did on the Genji. And he still had that wild, that 1v2 Genji clutch. His Tracer still looked more consistent on the maps that he was playing it, and that's something that at the start of the year I never thought I would say.
It's a big step up for the Chengdu Hunters, but now, unfortunately, some regrets in there, but a lot to look forward to in the future. If they do actually beat Hangzhou as well, that will be even sad. It'll be great for Shanghai, but it'll be really sad for Chengdu because they're proving that they're actually one of the top 4 teams here, but they can't make it to the Midseason Madness anymore. And, they were very close to beating Seoul. Had they beaten Seoul, they would have actually already qualified in, maybe, I think, well, depending on tomorrow's results, but it would have definitely helped them qualify in, but that's just going to be one of those multiversal things that a different Chengdu Hunters did, but this one, unfortunately, has not qualified.
No, they have not, and I mean, Fusion fans, you can all breathe a sigh of relief. The Shanghai Dragons, they got it done for you. You will be a part of the Midseason Madness tournament. So a little bit of stress off of you for the future matches that are going to be coming up. But obviously, you still want to be able to get those W's. But yeah, I mean, that's going to do it for us this evening. Just quick little day. Yep. I got him. Yay. Quick little day. Only 2 matches. 3 going to be coming up tomorrow, but I will be out. Those games are going to be brought to you by Avril and Leg Day as we change things up a little bit for you. So make sure you guys tune into that. And I believe NA, of course, is going to be coming up later on as well. So make sure you tune into the lesser region and show your support to those squads. But that's going to do it from us. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you on Sunday. Avril and Leg Day will see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Good night. We love you.
Stabilizing the system. Hello.